Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be going over my new updated electoral map based off of win probability ratings or the likelihood for every single battleground state between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. But before we get started with my ratings, make sure you guys are subscribed, click the bell so you don't miss out on my content, press the like button, share this video if you're interested. Don't forget, we do have memberships. You can find links to that in the description section. So I'm going to be filling out the electoral map based off of the likelihood or win rate probabilities for each of these candidates. This is my opinion. So I think right off the bat, the battleground states that are certain to go in either direction. I think starting off with Donald Trump as Iowa, obviously that is certain to go to him. I think he's going to surpass double digits in this state, as well as Ohio as well. I think that is also most certainly going to Donald Trump. No question about that. It's not even likely at that point. And then, on the other hand, for Kamala Harris, I think Colorado is basically certain to go to her column. Obviously, I do expect her to get close, maybe around 10 percentage points. In 2020, Biden managed to get 13% in the state of Colorado. The state's actually shifting towards the left, but if you actually take a look at the early vote, it's pretty interesting. Democrats actually only lead by 4%. Meanwhile, 40% of the ballots already cast are from independent voters, which can swing either way. So with the early vote, as far as that goes in Colorado, that's actually pretty interesting. And the likely the likely ratings for both these candidates starting off with Donald Trump is going to be Texas. This is not certain because it can be close, but it's going to be likely for the former president. Obviously, no brainer. Obviously, he's going to win that by a comfortable margin, but not enough to consider it certain. And then as for Florida, that is also likely. I think Texas and Florida will go in similar directions, basically same margins. I think both these states would be in between 7 to 9 percentage points for the former president. And then, meanwhile, the likely states for Kamala Harris is going to be New Mexico. It's not enough to consider it certain for her because I think it will be within single digits, not quite 10 points for her. I think somewhere in between 7 to 10 percentage points. I think that is a fair range for her. And then New Hampshire as well and Minnesota are considered likely in terms of probability ratings, in my opinion. Obviously, Minnesota is, according to the polls, actually really close. But in my opinion, they actually might underestimate Kamala Harris. And Tim Walz, who is the governor here, is literally her VP on the same ticket. And that's going to give her an advantages electorally to the map. I think Tim Walz's impact really could help her, as well as Virginia is also likely, not based off of the margins and percentages, but based off of the probability ratings and likelihood. Yes, Virginia is likely. Does not mean she's going to win it by a likely margin. That's not what I'm trying to say in this video. Virginia being likely means that she's likely to win it, not that she's going to win it by over 5 percentage points. No, it could be decided within 4 points. Who knows? As of right now, I have her currently winning it by about 5 percentage points. But as far as the likelihood goes, yes, Virginia is likely for her. Trump is most likely not going to flip it. Now, if Biden was still in the race, then actually Trump would be favored in this state, as he was the week prior to Biden dropping out. Trump had a lead on the RCP averages in the state of Virginia by 0.4%. But now they had the candidate swap. Obviously, Kamala Harris replaced him. Now it's a completely different story. She is favored in the state of Virginia. And now we are moving on to the lean states for both of these candidates, starting off with Donald Trump. Arizona will lean towards his column, not based off of margins, but based off of probability and likelihood, according to me, as well as Georgia and North Carolina. Majority of polls, even the most left-leaning ones, are admitting that Donald Trump is favored in Arizona. He's favored in Georgia. He's favored in North Carolina. Even a poll from the Washington Journal, I believe, has Trump up by 3 points in the popular vote. Not in a swing state, but in the popular vote. The Washington Post, who I believe is left-leaning, has Trump up by 3 points in the popular vote. That is scary. Those are scary numbers for Kamala Harris. And Maricopa County is going to decide Arizona as a whole. And there is a scenario in which Kamala Harris still wins Maricopa, but by just 1 point, and she still could wind up losing the state of Arizona. This is a border state. That's a losing issue for Kamala Harris. She can't address that whatsoever. So I think Arizona is lean for Trump based off the probability ratings. And as far as Georgia goes, Kamala does not have the enthusiasm as Biden once did in 2020 among African American voters. Specifically, Biden got high turnout in Atlanta, the metropolitan area, the suburbs as well, especially. And obviously, Trump was facing the greatest outlashes, COVID, BLM, and major celebrity endorsements go in favor of Joe Biden. None of those factors I just mentioned are helping Kamala Harris this time around. And as far as the lean states for Kamala Harris, I don't think there are any, so we're going to skip right towards the tilt states. I think there are no tilt states for Donald Trump based off of the likelihood or probability ratings, but I do think there is one for Kamala Harris, and that is Michigan. I think the state will tilt for her, meaning she gets it, but by a narrow margin of below 1%. I think it will be decided by just a few thousand votes, just how Arizona, Georgia, and even Wisconsin was in the 2020 election. All three of those states I just mentioned only went to Biden by 0.3, 0.4, and 0.6%. That's the type of margins I expect Harris to get in Michigan as of now. So as we get closer to Election Day, yes, Trump can take the lead in my opinion in Michigan, but as of right now, I think it's tilt for Kamala Harris. That's how narrow I think it's going to be. I honestly can see Harris winning this state. At the same time, I can see Trump winning this state. Now, I don't think I could consider it toss-up. So I think it's closer to being toss-up rather than lean for Kamala Harris. So in the middle, I'm going to characterize it as tilt for her. Keep in mind, Michigan, the main reason why I have it tilt for Kamala is because Michigan in 2020 was the bluest Rust Belt state of the three. And also in 2016 as well. It voted to the left of both Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. Biden had nearly won it by nearly 3 points. Meanwhile, Wisconsin was only decided by under 1 point, and Pennsylvania around 1 point as well. So that's the main reason why I do have Michigan tilt for Kamala Harris. But I think every single state remaining, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Nevada that have not filled out yet, I think all of those three states, I'm going to characterize as of right now, toss-up. 50-50 for either candidate. I just think it's a plain tie. I think it's pretty simple. These three states, Nevada, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, as if right now, in terms of the likelihood or the probability ratings, according to me, I think those are toss-up. I just can't give it to either candidate. As of right now, I cannot project Nevada for Kamala. I cannot project Nevada for Donald Trump. Same thing goes for Wisconsin. As of today, I can't project it for Kamala. I can't call Wisconsin for Donald Trump. And even in Pennsylvania, as of right now, I don't have enough, reasoning to call Pennsylvania for Donald Trump. And same thing goes for Kamala Harris. I think those three states are truly highlighted in yellow, are real toss-up states. I think whatever the way they swing, either to the left or to the right, it will be decided by under a percentage point. Just how in 2020, Arizona, Georgia, Wisconsin decided by under a percentage point. You take a look at Nevada's early vote, it's looking good for Republicans. But still, I think Democrats, as we go closer to Election Day, the votes will be dumped in heavily. In Stronghold County, the Vegas area, Clark County, that's basically why they win this state in elections, is because of Clark County alone. Without that, Democrats can't win Nevada. But I expect the vote dump to get put in by Election Day. And in Washoe County, if Democrats hold on to that, they're probably going to win this state. Now, if Trump flips Washoe County, I think the chance of him flipping this state is actually significantly higher. And also, when Trump faced a really weak candidate in 2016, a more favorable year for him, he still fell short in this state. And time again, pollsters continue to overestimate Republican support in the state of Nevada. I've seen a numerous amount of right-leaning pollsters skewing the average and making it look like Trump's really leading in Nevada, and even his lead is really small at that. So I honestly can see Kamala winning Nevada. But if she does win it, it does not mean she's going to win the election, because Hillary did in 2016, and she still lost overwhelmingly by over 300 electoral votes. And as far as Wisconsin goes, majority of the polls are showing this state's going to be the bluest Rust Belt state. Like, surprisingly, because usually Wisconsin votes to the right of both Pennsylvania and Michigan. So I just can't project that for Trump at this point in time. Now, it is true that the three Rust Belt states never split. They never break apart. They always vote in the same direction. They always have for the past, for the past decades, actually. So the fact that I have Michigan for Kamala You would think that Wisconsin and Pennsylvania would go to her as well because they usually go in the same direction. But I think in this election, there could be a scenario for like the first time in a long time where these Rust Belt states actually break apart and split apart from each other, in which Wisconsin goes to Trump, Pennsylvania goes to Trump, but Michigan is that one state that breaks apart from the two and goes for Kamala Harris. Possible. I think it's possible. But as of right now, according to my probability ratings and likelihood of each and every battleground state, this is where I think the map is as of today. Donald Trump is at 262 electoral votes. I think he is favored, and I think he is closer to 270 than Kamala is. All he needs is just one Rust Belt state, whether that's Wisconsin or Pennsylvania, does not matter. And Kamala, at this point in time, I give her 241 electoral votes. I honestly can see Michigan flipping to Donald Trump's column. That would already give him the presidency. So as of right now, it's an extremely narrow and tight election, but I do think Trump, as of right now, is closer to 270 than Kamala is. That's just my opinion, because I do think that he has the Sun Belt locked under control. He's automatically going to flip Arizona, Georgia as well, because obviously it was the closest state in 2020 out of all the swing states. So Georgia flipping is obviously going to happen. It's a no-brainer. Majority of people have Georgia flipping. And as far as North Carolina goes, Trump won it twice. So what makes you think he won't do it a third time? It's probably going to happen. So all he needs is just one Rust Belt state. Therefore, he is closer to winning than Kamala is. I think the map is built for Donald Trump to win. Same thing goes for the Republicans in the Senate. They can still afford to lose some of these races, key swing seats like Arizona, Nevada, even Ohio, and still win the Senate as long as they just flip Montana, which is more than likely going to happen. So that's that. One last final reminders to subscribe. Click the bell so you don't miss out on my content. Press the like button. Share this video. Don't forget, if you are interested, we do have memberships. You can find a link to that in the description section. That's pretty much it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on in the map in the comment section down below. Do you agree or disagree with me, and why? That's pretty much it. Thank you, everyone, for watching.